This podcast is here to uplift, encourage, and support all people to create and build a community surrounding their goals, discover new talents, and learn new life skills. Period, point blank. Welcome to Sis Hear Me Out, the podcast. This is your big sis Sterling. You can find me on all platforms at Sterling TV. Welcome to the show where we're doing it and we're doing it big. This podcast is going to be about getting your first car, your first whip. Okay. I know how excited it is to get your first car. I definitely understand, but this is basically showing you things or telling you things that you should do, shouldn't do, things that you want to look for, things that you want to account for, and things that you want to, just think about. So, this is an episode about your first car. Or if you already have a car, you already got your first car, this is for your next car. Maybe something to consider, maybe something to think about, okay? And this is for my sisters and my brothers because I know how it is. I've seen both sides. Being the oldest of 7, I've seen my sister pick out cars and I've seen my brother pick out cars. This is things that I feel like I didn't consider and things that I feel like I wish that I would have thought about. Yeah. So, we got to start off with our Jesus juice, okay? It's Jesus time. It's Jesus time. It's Jesus time. It's Jesus time. Okay, so every single episode, okay, if you've been here before, you already know what it is. Okay, it's called It's Jesus Time, and this is the Jesus Juice, Jesus Jar. Okay, I got this off of TikTok. If you want to know where I got it from, go ahead and DM me. I will send it. Actually, I can put it in the description below. I'm over here trying to make promises, or not trying to make promises that I can't keep because, But, okay, so it says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Read me when you're feeling happy, thankful, angry, anxious, lonely, or sad. And so I feel like for this episode, I think it's mostly either happy or thankful. Usually that's what people feel when they're getting their first car. Also, excuse these pimple patches, dog. Hormones are going crazy this week. So yeah, just ignore that. Okay, I found it. Okay, so we picked one. If you guys can read it, oh my God, please don't look at mine. Please don't look at my nails. It's so bad. Okay. So let me go ahead and read it. We took out from the happy. Okay, this is Psalm 16:11. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Okay, this is saying if you stick beside him, okay, like you stick beside that man, you'll forever have fullness of joy. Okay. Anyway, or women, okay, or women. If you're a man watching this, or women, okay, or if you go the other way, okay. Regardless of the fact, like you stick beside him, you need to stick beside Jesus, okay? Period. That's what he said. Okay. Anyway, that was Psalm 16:11. All right. So I feel like that scripture is fitting for this one though, because I feel like a lot of times, especially because I know the rate of people, especially of teens, adolescents, or people just getting their first car in general, their rates of wrecking their car is really, really high. And I feel like the new experience is not the only reason why they are wrecking the car. I feel like it's the choice of car that they were given or chose. And the fact that they didn't pray over it, because God has the right path, right? And obviously we're not choosing the right car. All right. So I have some suggestions for you. All right. So I do this podcast so I can be everyone's big sister. I want to be everyone's big sister as much as I possibly can. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of people that don't have guidance out here, or people that they can just like vibe with and talk to and be honest and real with, and I'm here to be that for you. Okay, so thank you for coming and being here. I really appreciate you, and I hope to, build our relationship so we can become like this, because that's important to me. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into this episode. So first car shopping. Okay. So yeah, I just want to tell you about the stigma with car crashes. I feel like it's not just because you're a new driver. I feel like it does have to do with the car. So I will say, you need to consider everything. Like they say, check the Carfax. If you ever heard that before, it just means you want to check everything. You want to check if it's been an accident, what's work has got into it, who owned the car, especially if you're getting a used car. You want to see like what's, just everything about it. What the value is, why it's that value. I feel like those are things that I did not consider, or not that I didn't consider, because I got my first car passed down. But I did get my first car when I was 23. I think I was 23. And I finally got rid of my old Krusty Krab bucket, my baby. I'm going to put a picture in here so you guys can see my bucket that I had for like 10 years. It was my favorite thing ever. I very much used that thing to the will fault. Yeah. I used that car out. And that car had bangers. And it was my mom's car first. And she passed it down onto me, and I took very good care of it as much as I possibly could. I had like almost 300, I think. It was like, maybe it was like 250. It's 250 to 300K. Yeah. I really used that thing, okay? So when I think I know something about cars, I feel like I can definitely give, some feedback if you're trying to make your car last. Because it's not about looks. Okay, anyway, let me just get into it. So at first, of course, you want to consider everything first, be excited second, okay? You want to literally think about everything first and be excited second, okay? And what I mean by be excited is then you look at looks. Then you look at, looks are the last thing. That should be on the last thing of your list, especially if it's your first car, or if you're like in high school or anything like that. The looks, I'm telling you, should be the last of your worries, right? So first, I think you should think about the gas cost. And let me tell you why you should think about the gas cost. It's because gas is super crucial. Okay? Super crucial, especially if you are young, right? And you're not super stable in your job yet, or super like just secure in what you're doing. You're kind of jumping all over the place, or like you're in college, you don't have enough money to spare. You really need to think about gas, right? I would say when you go to the car dealership, your car mileage per gallon should be anywhere between, I would say, 27 and 30. So you should get 27 to 30 miles out of the car for every gallon. That's going to save you to the max. Okay? So look for those cars first if you can. If it's hitting 25 and under, that is a gas guzzler. That's a gas guzzler, which means you will be broke. You might as well throw the whole car away. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to get tired of that. Because not only that you'll have payments, you'll now have a huge car gas bill. And that's not even counting insurance. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Okay, so I would definitely look at the gas costs. See if it's anywhere between 27 and 30 miles to the gallon. Okay, that is your first move. Okay, go ahead and ask that. Don't be afraid to ask questions when you're there. Do not be afraid. I know a lot of us have single moms too. I feel like a lot of our moms don't know. They don't really know. They don't really know when they're going in there. So I'm telling you what I learned. So go ahead and think about the gas. All right. Next, do not get an electric car for your first car. Do not. I have an electric car now. I'm telling you right here, right now. Do not do it. If you have a family or a kid, don't do it. And let me tell you why. Yes, there is a tax write-off. That's great. If you want to know more about the tax write-off, go ahead and look it up on YouTube. I'm telling you right here, right now, I do not think that electric cars are the best for you because, first of all, if you run out of electricity, you have to call a tow truck, period. There is no, let me go get a gas thing to fill it up as much as I possibly can to get to a gas station. No, not everywhere has electric like plugs. So you're stuck. Okay. And if you don't have the money to handle gas, are you going to have the money to handle that tow truck? I'm telling you right here, right now, that is a mistake. It takes anywhere from 30 to an hour to fill up each time. Okay? If it takes 30 minutes to an hour to fill up your car each time. I don't know if that's clicking in your brain, but I need you to realize that's a long time, especially if you have a kid. They are sitting in the back with you for 30 to an hour to make sure your tank is full. Think about that, okay? I'm just telling you right here, right now, with 2 boys, dog, it's not the move. It's not the move, okay? It's cool for right now, but it's not the move, okay? I'm telling you right here, right now. Sorry, guys. I'm over here looking at my screen and not looking at you guys. My bad. But, and then as for, you know, just people, I mean, I guess if you don't have children, you know, this could be really cool. But again, that's still money coming out. And also the miles to a gallon is not as well, or is not as good either as a regular gas car. So I would definitely take that into consideration when you are shopping. So yeah, try not to do electric cars. Unless, you know, you could do a hybrid. Hybrids are also cool. I would suggest a hybrid. But I'm telling you, those electric cars, I think you should think about that just a little bit harder, okay? The third one is payment and insurance. So before you pick out your car, I want you to call up an insurance company and I want you to be like, hey, I'm getting this car. I'm thinking about this. Can you give me a quote? Okay? Because people will get the car and don't get the quote for insurance and don't realize that once you get that car, you have to get insurance. And the insurance can range from, here you are thinking, oh, it's a quick $100, boom, boom. No. If you're getting the newest car or just a car that, you know, has had a lot of accidents in this area, or because insurance, that's another thing. Insurance has to do with the area, the traffic, how many accidents have gotten the car. It calculates the amount of reports that it's gotten, whether it's been stolen, just like, you know, for example, the whole Kia situation. Kia's rates went skyrocketing. Hyundai's rates went skyrocketing. They were even kicking people off the insurance because of the amount of reports. So you have to really consider that when you are getting your first car. You gotta call and you gotta let them know, like, hey, I'm getting this car. I'm thinking about getting this car. What is your quote? You know, and if it's something that you don't think you can afford every single month, definitely reconsider, okay? reconsider. I'm telling you right here, right now, because you don't want to get behind on those things, and you want to make sure that you're insured, okay? Especially if you have children, you want to make sure that you and your kids are insured, because you have no clue what will happen. You're not only driving for yourself and the people behind you, you are driving for everybody on the road, because you have to realize that everybody cannot drive, okay? So, yes, and payments, oh my gosh, payments are crazy, because you have to look at interest, and you have to look at just like how much it is. Like, for example, when I went to get my new, I have an electric car right now, which I'm telling you guys, I have experience. But at first they were trying to get me to pay 800, I think it was 840 a month. 840 a month. I said, 8 what? I talked them down, guys, luckily, to 500. Or no. It was like 480. And then it's like, right now it's like 550 with like, if any, if I were to get like any scratch or just like anything happened to my car, I could just go in and fix it. So they'll definitely try to get you with that too. So just make sure you're checking and seeing if you can argue down. Never take the first, second, third, or fourth offer. Okay? You argue it down all the way, because you have to think about it. They're trying to get you to buy a car. Okay? They're trying to get you to buy a car. So you sit there and you debate. Okay, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? And if they're like, no, let me go talk. Okay, go talk. Get opinions, look up things while they're talking to the estimator or whatever. You make sure that you talk down as much as possible. Okay? And yeah, so literally the first one is gas costs. Consider that. Gas costs, super important. Because that's, you're going to be using that the most. Second, be wary of the electric cars. Okay, I know they look super pretty and sweet and beautiful and all that, but I'm telling you, be wary, okay? Be wary. Third is payment and insurance, okay? Payment and insurance. Make sure you get that quote before you go and get the car. Get the quote before you get the car, okay? Let that be, like, get the quote before you get the car, like, let that be the thing that you remember, okay? And payments, make sure you're getting the lowest interest rate, because every month, interest builds. Make sure you get the lowest interest rate as much as you possibly can, and get something that, you can afford. And argue down. Argue down. Okay? Argue down. Never take the first, second, third, or fourth offer. Okay. Then the last one is going to be looks. Yes, you want it to be comfortable. If you know that you're carrying like large equipment all the time, maybe yes, get you something bigger, but also remember the gas, okay? I don't suggest white. For anybody who has a car for the first time, I don't suggest white. It gets dirty super freaking quick. You can see all the crusties and the stains, and if somebody accidentally marks your car, like, you can literally see everything. Like, think of it as like a chalkboard, like any little scuff, any little thing will change the color. Also, like I said, it just gets dirty super quick. And we already have all these monthly things. We have the payment, we have the payment, we have the insurance, we have the gas or the plug-in. To add another bill for washing your car every time is insane. So I'm telling you, save yourself the time and don't get a white car. If you are a fast driver, if you know you're a fast driver, this is something that you've been warned about, do not get red. And let me tell you why you don't get red. Because you will get noticed by the police. They will see you. Red is the car that people see when you go down. You'll see red before any other car. I'm telling you. Or don't get like a special looking car, like, I don't know, just like a random color, like a lilac, or just something that's like, oh, whoa, what the heck, like a yellow, Get something that blends in. If you want less tickets, get something that blends in. Get a black car. Get a tannish car, get a gray car, get a car that blends in. Okay. Also, I would suggest, especially if this is your first car, to not get a car that's super low to the ground. And I say that because if you are a fast driver, or if you're a driver, like I said, a new driver, you're gonna have to navigate your car a lot better than most because of the fact that you are literally like driving careful. Like you have to drive careful. Create a lot of mechanical mistakes if it's way too low to the ground. You can't have a lot of people in your car. I know when people get their first car, usually they have a lot of people in it, or usually they're, especially if you're adolescents, like, I know you try to you just try to get people in your car. Like, I'm just telling you, the low route is not a good way to go. Another thing you should not get is tinted anything, especially with your first car. You need to see the road. You need to know where you're going, especially for your first car. Do not get tinted anything. You need to get to know the road. Okay? After your first car, or maybe after like a year or two in your car, then you tint the windows. Okay? Don't ride out. You got to do with the fishbowl. Okay? Just like everybody else. Get in the fishbowl, and let me tell you why you got to get in the fishbowl, because you need to see the road. Okay? You don't know the road like we know the road yet. Okay? Slow down. People be trying to get like 75%. Like, no, that's why you can't see, and that's why your car is always in the shop, because it's always getting like that, because you can't see. All right? Don't do it. So yeah, my recommendations is definitely, like I said, no electric for your first car. Hybrids are welcomed. We like hybrids. Definitely read the fine print too when you get your first car. Read the fine print. Read when can you take your car back? Like, say if it messes up, like, make sure you read that. Make sure you see if it's a previous owned car. Make sure you see who previously owned it. Make sure you see if it was an accident, what stuff has been done to the car. And when I mean done to the car, like, did it, how many times did it go in the shop? What did they do? Because you need to know, like, oh, does it have a brake problem? Or does it have a problem with the engine? You just don't know. And those are really good things to check. And if there's a problem with the engine, I'm just telling you right now, throw the car away. You don't need it. You don't need it. Throw the car away. If it says that there was a problem with the engine, sorry, don't get the car. Do not waste your money. Don't waste your money. Or the alternator, toss that. Okay? Toss that now. Another recommendation, like I said, always get insurance. Get insurance, even if it's just liability. It's better to be insured than not. I have definitely, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know if the police are watching, please ignore this, but there was a while where I was riding without the insurance, which, I can understand it could be really sweet and really cool until it's not. Okay? Like I said, you never know what will happen and what tomorrow may bring. So always just make sure that you're prepared. You can always upgrade it to full coverage. You can even get the lowest. Just as long as you're insured, I think that's really, really important. I'm telling you that right here, right now. Okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. And then the last recommendation, of course, is do your research. Like I said, do your research on the car. Do your research on, I know, like, it's kind of like when you get a game system or you see a new game, like, go watch those trailers. What are they talking about that the car does? The features, the little cool gimmicks that, nobody knows about. Like, go ahead and look those up, because the more you get to know your car, the better you know how to drive it. Right? So we are trying to make our cars last till the wheels fall off. Cars are expensive. We don't have money for that. Okay? We don't have money for that. I know that the economy is terrible right now, and I don't know how good it will be in the next 4 years. So I need us to lock in and make sure when we're getting our car that we are being smart. Okay? It's not about looks. It's about reliability. It needs to be reliable. If it's not reliable, there's no point of you having it. It's just sitting there. And who wants to be the person that's always talking about my car's in the shop? I was very much like that. I literally always had to, like, there was always something happening with my car because it was getting old. I had the same stuff happening. Like, I had to realize that, okay, I need to lock in and I need to, like, get it together because, bro, I need my car. And it's also different for me too because I'm a single mom of two. Like, I have to have a car. You know, if I don't have a car, I literally can't go anywhere. If something happens to my children, I'm gonna have to call an Uber. Like, I can't do that. So I absolutely need you guys to lock in because I need you guys to be safe. Okay? I need you guys to be safe. I need you guys to be smart. And I need you guys to make sure you're choosing your car correctly. Okay? And I need you to take everything into consideration. Another thing I would say is do not get a Jeep. Don't get a Jeep. That's my dream car. When I get rich and famous, hopefully one day I can get a Jeep. I would love a Jeep. Okay? I would love a Jeep. But I heard that the maintenance on that car is terrible. It's terrible. There's always something breaking down. There's always something that happened. There's always something. And if you look up, go ahead and look up on YouTube, what are the 10 worst cars? Jeep is always on there. Jeep is always on there. I'm telling you. So don't get a Jeep. I'm sorry to break your heart. I'm sorry to break your dreams. But I'm not sorry that I'm saving you from going to the mechanics, okay? Because I like to overcharge, okay? And I'm telling you right here, right now, don't get a Jeep for your first car. Wait until you start building up some moolah and some stacks to do that. Because, yeah, I'm sad that I can't get a Jeep. I can't get a Jeep until I'm not getting a Jeep until I own 2 houses. Because I know that Jeeps won't last. And it breaks my heart because they're so cute. But literally, like I said, it's not about the looks. It's about reliability. And if it has to be an ugly car, let it be an ugly car. Okay? It's fine. It's getting you from A to B, so who cares? You know? Another thing, for the people, and this is just a little side note, for the people in high school, when it comes to getting your first car and, you know, you're finally pulling up with it at your school, go ahead and set up your Cash App or your Venmo. Or your Cash App, Venmo, or I don't know, any money, or Apple Pay. And let me tell you why, okay? Because people in high school love to take advantage of your car. Not because they're just being like, oh, you know, like, she has a car. No, it's because obviously, literally, we all have to get from A to B, right? So the person that has a car, we're going to want to, like, attack them. Like, hey, like, take me to the store, like, you know? Like, but I'm telling you right now, to save you stress and asking your parents for gas money and like things like that, you make sure that you come up with a system in your car to, like, for example, if they're like, oh, can you drop me off at home? Do the math. Be bougie, do the math and be like, it's 2 miles. Okay, for 2 miles we're charging like $1, or for 2 miles we're charging like $2 or whatever. Like, and you know, I know that sounds like crazy and wild, but I'm telling you right here, right now, gas is a lot. Okay, and the more you use it, you know, helping other people, the less it is for you. So now you're spending all your money on other people. And I'm telling you right here, right now, if you come up with a system, you are able to then, you know, you already set the boundary right here, right there. Like, this is how much it is. And they send it to you before you start the car. Okay? Like, you already tell them, this is my rate. And this is my rate because I'm broke. Like, just be real. I'm broke. I cannot. Like, I told my sister and brothers this because if you're anything like us and our family, we are always like, here. Like, let me help you. Let me pick you up. Let me, you know, let me do this. And it's wonderful being like that, but also it can be hurtful towards you if you're not, you know, like I said, there's a cup that we have. If you're hitting below 75%, you need to say no. Okay? And there's a lot of time where we would be at like 25% saying yes, right? So I need you guys to lock in when it comes to that too, because you have to realize that you're spending your money and it's okay to ask for money. Okay? It's okay to ask for gas. It's okay. Okay? Something in exchange. Okay, you buy me a meal, you know? Or something. Like, because I'm telling you right here, right now, like, that can get really bad really fast. Then you're not going to have, gas for yourself when it comes to you going to work or you going to events or you going to, other things because you literally didn't spend all of your money on your friends. Okay. And then also, yeah, I think that's it really for that. Yeah. Let me figure out how I'm going to finish this. Well, it was really, really, really exciting explaining this to you guys and having you guys, come here and have me talk to you about getting your first car because I know it's a really exciting thing. But I do want to remind you that there is important things to remember before you get your car, okay? I want you to remind you that, of course, you think about the gas. You then think about whether you should get an electric car or not. Okay, your payments, your insurance, and then last is looks. Is it big enough for you? Is it comfortable enough for you? Can you see over the wheel? Can you look behind your shoulder without anything being in your way? Is your mirror perfectly adjusted? Like, literally, look should be last, but also, yes, you do take that into consideration. Make sure that you don't get a Jeep. I'm telling you right here, right now, do not get a Jeep, okay? Do not get a Jeep. Um, and then also make sure you are setting boundaries for people around you. I know this is a super excited time, and if you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about or mention, or even have a car in mind, I would literally love to go through it with you and do research and, help you figure out what car you should get, because those are things that I definitely do for my siblings and myself, and I think that I'm definitely useful in that way. So please let me be your big sis. If you have a car in mind, literally let me know what you're thinking and we can look at the Carfax, okay, and see if that's gonna be a good fit for you. All right, so thank you guys so much for coming to watch this episode, and I hope that you guys gain all the knowledge you're supposed to get. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys for being here. I have some news. So just to keep you guys updated and a part of the gang. So I'm thinking about making a processing journal called Hear Me Out. And it's basically going to be about like how you're processing through life, right? So like the first couple pages are going to be about like goals that you're trying to set for the year, and then it's going to be about happy moments, hard moments, to-do list, things that you've learned, reflection moments, final thoughts, just like a processing journal, because I feel like what we're missing a lot as a human species in general is just reflection, time to sit and think about what we have accomplished, things or situations that we've gone through that we haven't necessarily we just haven't necessarily processed, and we kind of forgot, and it's deep down and buried, and I feel like we should be processing those every single day. So that's something that I'm thinking about, and I'm hoping that you guys resonate with that, and I hope that you guys, order it. Hopefully, I'm thinking launch should be around September 1st. So that is my goal. I've been out here designing and looking up things and looking at manufacturers. So I hope that this is something that I lean into and rock with, and I hope you guys vibe with me. And you guys are literally going to go through every single process with me, and hopefully, I don't know, we just see how it turns out and see how we like it. Yeah, so thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Okay, bye.
bloopers with Sterling.
I'm definitely editing some of this out because this is funny as fuck. Okay, there was somebody trying to join us. Okay. Point blank. Welcome to Sis Hear Me Out, the podcast. My name is Sterling. Psych. Period point blank. Welcome to Sis Hear Me Out, the podcast. This is your big sis Sterling. You can find me on all platforms at Sterling TV. Welcome to the show where we're doing it and we're doing it big. Okay, let's do it one more time. Now that I got all the jitters out. Okay. Okay, you have to look at... Hi, Eli. Hi, Morris. All right. So this is the mission statement. This podcast is here to uplift, encourage, and support all people to create and build a community surrounding their goals, discover new talents, and learn new life skills. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. Okay, this is the mission statement. This podcast is here to uplift, encourage, and support all people to create and build a community surrounding their goals, discover new talents, and learn new life skills. Okay. One more time. Okay. Please ignore that. That's your favorite scripture? Yes, okay? For real. Ooh, these are some good ones. I know we're just supposed to pick one, but I'm trying to figure out which one is more fitting. Ooh. You know why Jesus choose? And it says, "You will show me the path of life. In your presence is full of..." Oh my God, let me read this again. Okay. "You will show me the path of life, and your presence is full of joy. At your right hand, there are pleasures forevermore." Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Then theme music. Okay. Alright, I can do this now. Okay. Period. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. Jen! Okay. So I'll say what this episode is about first. Hey, Jen. Thank you for the hearty. Okay. So